Hi everyone, Mon here, Intuitive Soul Savant. Welcome back. How are you all? We've had a big week. I'm in the color red again, keeping with that Aries energy. Red is the color of Mars, hence Aries, and the numerological number is 9. All right, so my intention today is to speak a little slower. I have noticed that some commentary out there, people are speeding along so fast with this Aries energy. Also, I intend to keep compassion in my heart because the energies that are about, not so much for myself personally, because I am in my own bubble, you could say, energetically. And that bubble is peace and serenity. Okay. And that's the way I like to keep it as a Capricorn. So, how have you been? Yesterday, we had a new moon in Aries and the sun conjunct Chiron and then a new moon. So, that gives us all the energy to continue with our healing process, Chiron being the wounded healer. Chiron has been at this degree before, so this isn't the first time we're experiencing this degree, 26 degrees, 38 minutes. Now, my natal sun is at 26 degrees and 50 minutes. So yesterday I had a sun square sun, and it was a fabulous day. Wow. I mean, if you're learning astrology, you know, we know that the squares are challenging. However, they're not an opposition. A square, there's room to move. With an opposition, it's like a tug of war. Okay, so yesterday, what did I do? And you'll understand this when we discuss all of the planetary conjunctions that are going on in the stellium that we're having in Aries. I paid a deposit and signed up for a course that I've been thinking about for 5, 6 years now. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it doesn't start until next April. So the reason I'm telling you this story is if you're new to astrology, you may have listened to other commentators, astrologers online. And when we think Aries energy, we think go, ready, set, go. Well, this energy in Aries is not like that because we have Saturn in Aries and we also have Neptune in Aries, okay? And Saturn will be there for a couple of years. Neptune will be there for a decade and a half, around then. I can't give you the exact time because I haven't looked. Yeah, so this energy that we're experiencing now, we previously had all of those retrogrades last year, the year before, Pluto going from Capricorn into Aquarius, changes. And we've all wanted to start something new. The energy has been there for that. However, it has seemed like we've been held back. It's the year of the fire horse this year. So imagine a rider on a horse pulling the horse back, a little like the Knight of Swords card, blazing off. Well, this energy is yes, ready, get set, but it's not time to go. Not quite yet. Okay, we still have another few alignments, planetary alignments to take place before we can get going. But this energy is bringing clarity on our path ahead. And yesterday, I was my higher power was on my back. Sign up today for it's a new career path for me as well. All in alignment with healing and what I do. All right. So I did that, but being Saturn ruled, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm Saturn ruled. It's not happening this year. It's happening next year that I start the course. And, that's only because the dates that were available this year, I'm going to be traveling. So it just didn't work out. But that taught me something about this energy. So take it easy, everybody. Yes, there's new starts coming. Yes, you've got some idea of which path you would like to go down. But let's get clear about it and let's take it step by step. All right. Now, this last week, I really want to, my desire to do these videos for you is to teach people to understand the energies. Like there's the theory of astrology. I got so far with the theory of astrology that I got to a point of studying, I picked up my first astrology book 43 years ago. Now, it really took off, my astrology, when the internet, came about, because initially I would look through all the newsagents, the libraries, for any little bit of astrology books that I could find, but once the internet got underway, wow, boom, all the energy exploded, and hence that's why so many people now are interested in astrology, which is wonderful. But for you people out there that don't want to be an astrologer and do charts, you've got a passion for understanding astrology. It's about the energy. So all that's going on at the moment is like a big party, and it includes everybody. And I just got this revelation yesterday. So we've had the sun in Aries. So we invite all of the Leos. We had the moon conjunct the sun in Aries. So we invite all of the Cancers to this party. We had those two luminaries, sun and moon are luminaries. We had those two conjuncting Chiron, the wounded healer. And we often give Chiron to Virgo energy. So we invited Virgo to the party. Now, we also have now Mercury in Aries, so all the Geminis and Virgos get 2 invitations to the party. Neptune is in Aries. Neptune, all the Pisces are invited to the party. Saturn is in Aries. All the Capricorns are invited to the party, as well as the Aquarians. I hope I haven't missed anybody out. Now, these planets that are at the party with Aries, two of them, a couple of them, well, all of them will have made a sextile previously or eventually to Pluto in Aquarius. So Scorpios, Pluto rules Scorpios. So the Scorpios are invited to the party. We have Venus now in Taurus, not in Aries, but Venus rules Taurus, and we needed the love of Venus to ground this energy, because in Taurus it's very, very grounded. Now, all of these planets in Aries are making a sextile to Uranus. So Uranus rules Aquarius. You get a personal invitation. You get 2 invitations, Aquarius. So can you see how we're all invited to the party that's going on at the moment? Now, I want to give you another astrology tip. Whatever planet or luminary, sun or moon, rules your sun sign, the day you were born, your basic sun sign, one of the 12, whatever planet or luminary rules that, you should always keep an eye on where it is moving through the zodiac. Example, I'm Saturn ruled and I feel like an Aries. Okay, when Saturn was in Pisces, wow, that was where it was when I was born. So, wherever these planets are moving around the zodiac, it will add another layer of awareness to you. So if you're a Cancer sun sign, every 2.5 days, the moon moves. And this is why we call Cancers moody, because they're changing every 2.5 days. With the sun, every month the sun moves, okay? Every 28 days. And so if you're a Leo, wherever the sun is moving into, that's another layer of awareness. You're going to feel the change of energy. Hence, that goes for all the planets, okay? So Pisces, ruled by Neptune, is feeling a little more energy on board and a little more like Aries, and especially more as it moves through the rest of the degrees of Aries. So that's just a little astrology tip that helps me understand another layer of my chart and the expansion of my chart, blueprint, astrology chart. All right, so we're all invited to the party, so it affects all of us, and especially with the beautiful sextiles to Pluto, Pluto in Aquarius, that is the collective, okay? So this is why it's a very, very important time for all of us. Now, in the description box, I'm going to pop a video that I made for my other channel on Tuesday, and I'm spirit-led. The next day, the person that I was discussing in that video actually posted a picture of himself worldwide, was asked to take it down. So there's no astrology in that other channel. It's spiritual enlightenment. So it's only a short 13-minute video. Pop down to the description box and go and check that out, because it's quite profound how I discussed something, shared on Tuesday, and then the next day this said person almost gave me did give me confirmation that I was channeling truth. All right, very interesting video, and it will help you to understand the times that we're in globally, geopolitically. Okay. All right. So that's something. Also, another note, I'm going to be adding an extra video a week to this channel, and that will be on Mondays. Today is Saturday in Sydney time. And Mondays, I'm going to do and present a video of the transit of the next week, so to speak. So Monday, I'm going to be doing all of the ascendant signs, houses, where Mars and Saturn conjoin, okay, conjunct each other. That's happening this week, but I'm going to go through all of the houses so you personally can have some understanding of this next 2-year cycle, right? So let's get started. Yesterday we had the new moon, which is the sun and the moon conjunct, and that was conjuncting Chiron. Okay, so here we are, we're getting that beautiful beginning energy of healing, and in Aries, it is healing of the self. I am that I am, and owning that for sure. Okay, so that's what we've been given yesterday with that new moon. Yesterday also, around the new moon, Mars sextiled Pluto. As I said, Mars is an activating energy, so it was reflecting back to Pluto, the collective. We're moving forward as a collective, right? Mars rules Aries, Mars in Aries, sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. Yesterday also, Mercury conjunct Neptune, all right? Mercury is the mind, and Neptune is the higher awareness spiritually, okay? It's ethereal, so it's not something that we can touch, okay? It is the truth, right? The spiritual awareness is truth. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, okay? Not the other way around like we have previously believed, all right? So Mercury conjunct Neptune, that's a new cycle, okay? And that's only a yearly cycle, Mercury and Neptune coming together. A spiritual awareness in the mind, okay? So there's nothing today, no aspects here, Sydney time today. Tomorrow, Sunday the 19th, Mercury now sextiles Pluto, right? So the invitation, the communication feeds back to Pluto in a sextile, which is a great, helpful angle, inviting the collective to start thinking about the change that we need to make personally for the collective to evolve into a peaceful, happy brotherhood of man and woman energy. So that's Sunday, and that's very early in the morning here. So let's say Saturday evening in the Northern Hemisphere. Okie doke. Now Monday, this is Mars conjunct Saturn. Now that's also early in the morning here on Monday. So Northern Hemisphere, you would say Sunday evening, your time zone. And the degrees for this Mars-Saturn conjunction in Aries is 7 degrees 52 minutes. Now, if you don't know already, some astrologers, they round it out. So if it was 7 degrees 20 minutes, you could round it out at 7 degrees. But once those minutes get to 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes, we can round it out to 8 degrees, all right? I don't want to do that because I have an ascendant, a Leo ascendant at 7 degrees 13 minutes. So Mars and Saturn will have already passed the exact trine to my ascendant, okay, which is a great energy. I'm feeling it. For sure I'm feeling it. I feel great. So I'm loving that Mars conjunct Saturn. Now, Saturn is in fall in Aries, okay? I'm not feeling that, okay? I remember 30 years ago when Saturn was in Aries, I was traveling India, and then I went to Japan, and then I got pregnant in Japan, and I had a child while Saturn was transiting Aries the last time. And there were a lot of changes that I made in my life. So I find it's a good energy, all right, even though Saturn is in its fall in Aries. But the difference is that Mars is elevated when it's in Capricorn, right? So this energy will depend on how well you get along with Mars and Saturn in your chart. Some people, astrologers, are projecting that geopolitically, this is a really big week as far as what the powers that be, which way they go ahead with all this war, because Mars rules the energy of war, okay? Saturn's very grounded. Saturn has integrity. Saturn is the big daddy with integrity. And, we just had Pluto transit Capricorn, elevating Capricorn's integrity. So therefore, the way I read it, okay, it affects Saturn. When a sun sign is changed and evolves, I believe that Saturn is the planet ruling that sun sign, right? But that's just me. I've never heard anybody else say that, because the planets have to keep evolving as we keep evolving. Otherwise, we're back in ancient astrology without the outer planets. So astrology is always evolving as we evolve, and that's why I love, and I'm so passionate for 43 years about astrology. All right, so that's on Monday, early here, Sydney time, late Sunday. And I'm going to do a video of each of the signs where Mars and Saturn are conjuncting, because that's the 2-year cycle. Takes Mars 2 years to get back to Saturn. And I haven't checked, but I will let you know Monday when the next cycle starts, whether it's in Aries or Taurus. I've got a feeling it's in Taurus, okay, but I'll let you know Monday. So also Monday morning here, Sunday evening, Northern Hemisphere, we have the sun entering Taurus. Yay for that. And the reason we say yay for that is because Taurus is very grounded. Taurus moves very slowly and methodically, right? With awareness when it moves. So, that sun entering Aries while Mars and Saturn are conjunct, that sun entering Taurus while Mars and Saturn are conjunct is a great balancer for us, all right? So we don't get too cray-cray. Also that day, not long after Mars conjunct Saturn, Mercury conjuncts Saturn. So we've got a little stellium there of Mercury, Saturn, Mercury, Mars and Saturn. Okay, so, it could be very volatile energy. I'd like us to use this energy for the good. But you can imagine Mercury thinking war, angry thoughts, and putting it out there, Saturn, into reality. Okay, so those three together. Yes, I've heard some very scary commentaries, astrological commentaries about those three together. But, I believe in the light, and I believe the light has won already. It's already been done, okay? And we're just having to live through this and undergo this change of humanity and here on planet Earth. All right? So I will be back on Monday with that video about all of those energies and the houses for you guys, okay? So Tuesday, early in the morning, this would be Monday evening for you Northern Hemisphere, we have Mercury conjunct Mars, right? So I'll cover all of that on Monday, but that's what's happening this coming week that is big, big news, right? Big, big news. So Mercury, Mars, Saturn, all conjunct, and it's 7 degrees Mars and Saturn, 7 degrees 52 minutes Mars and Saturn. Mercury and Saturn, 7 degrees 56 minutes. Mercury and Mars, 8 degrees 36 minutes. All right, so it's between late 7 degrees and mid 8 degrees. So check your charts, okay? If you've got any challenging aspects, good aspects, trines or sextiles, okay? Remember, I am a consultant. I do it very differently. I want to be your astrologer for life. So I'm very, I connect well with you. It's not just throw out a chart, business. I'm just not that astrologer. I'm a healer, okay? And I heal through many mediums, but when it comes to astrology, I'm like a counselor, okay? Chiron in Pisces for sure, natally. So if you'd like your chart done and you'd like a consultation, we look into the future. I'm very intuitive about it all too. So, after 43 years, the intuition comes from the study of astrology. And I'm going to be doing a video on how you can recognize a sun sign, ascendant, or moon sign just by meeting somebody in the first minute, all right, which I think will be a lot of fun. All right, so Friday, excuse me, Friday, 11:58 a.m. Sydney time, which will be late Thursday evening for you guys, Northern Hemisphere. Venus enters Uranus, and also Venus then enters Gemini, all right, on the same day here in Sydney time. I'm just going to pause this for 1 second. Not sure how I do that. Pause. I'm so sorry. I just had the biggest coughing attack. I got very dry in the throat. That's probably because I'm talking too quickly and I've got ideas coming at me really fast. Today's meditation was a bit tricky because, with Mercury in Aries, and Neptune too in Aries. I mean, Neptune is our meditation energy when we actually enter into the space with chi, with God, with the universal energy. So it was a bit tricky today, meditation. My mind doesn't wander because I've been doing it so long on the breath, but I could see that the mind had this sort of agitated energy. Yeah. Anyway, the coughs have gone. So let's start where I finished then. So Friday the 24th, 11:58 a.m. here in Sydney time, which will be, because I'm sort of going 12 hours behind us, the Northern Hemisphere is. And if you follow me, it's good to sort of know how far behind time-wise you are with Sydney time, because I'm using Sydney, East Coast Australia time. So this Venus conjuncting Uranus is at the last degree, and I mean 4 minutes away from Uranus entering Gemini, right? So it's 29 degrees and 54 minutes that Venus conjuncts Uranus, okay? Which is lovely. It's almost like Venus, which rules Taurus, where Uranus has been for the last 7 years. It's like Venus gives Uranus a hug and says, thank you very much for your awakening energy, for your for the change and awakening of my little Taurus's life, all right? Which we all have Taurus in our chart. So somewhere in our chart we have had Uranus transiting, and, it's been a shake-up in that area, most definitely. And Venus is giving a big hug to Uranus and saying, good job. Thank you very much for helping out my mate Taurus. And then Venus moves into Gemini. Now, that happens at 2:03 p.m. here, Sydney time. So that would be Thursday evening for you guys, Northern Hemisphere. And Venus entering Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So it's all very mind, communication. Venus loves relationship. And so, after all of this energy that we've had in the last week, it'll be 2 weeks, this next Friday, Venus will enter into Gemini, and maybe we can, really have compassion for ourselves, sweet talk ourselves, love on ourselves, especially if you've found these 2 weeks and all this energy in Aries challenging. So I have made a long video today, all right? But I'm just going to let you know where we end up at the end of the week. The sun will be in Taurus at 4 degrees. I'm rounding off these degrees, is okay, because it's too confusing. The sun will be in Taurus at 4 degrees. The moon will be in Leo at 9 degrees. Mercury, we know, in Aries, 14 degrees. Venus, we know, gone into Gemini, just 0 degrees, 24 minutes. Mars in Aries, 11 degrees. Jupiter in Cancer at 18 degrees. Saturn, we know, in Aries at 8 degrees. Uranus in Taurus, like I just said, it'll finish the week off at 29 degrees, 55 minutes. So not this next week, but the week after that, Uranus moves into Gemini, and I'll be doing a big, lots and lots of talks about that because, wow, I think I even made videos last year. Well, I did, because Uranus had a time in Gemini last year. Right. So Neptune in Aries, we know, 3 degrees, and Pluto in Aquarius, we know, 5.5 degrees. Yep. So it's a big week. Be kind to yourself, but don't get it in your mind that because it's all Aries energy, ready, set, go now. It's not that. Okay. It's get ready, get set. We'll be going soon. We'll be moving forward soon. But there's, with Saturn there, there's nothing stopping you planting the seeds of your future, right? Each one of us, every one of us, I've been observing, have all got these different things, whether they're moving town, whether they're getting married, whether they're changing their careers, whether kids are moving out. There's changes for everybody on this planet. Each individual on this planet, something new is brewing, all right? But just because we've got all this Aries energy, ordinarily you would think that, but not this stellium at this time. All right. And if you do rush off, you're going to hit a brick wall. So save yourself all that energy, all that stress, and just take it day by day, step at a time. All right. So I love you. Please go into the description box and have a look at that short video I made. I mean, I think it's hilarious, but you'll understand when you see it. Yeah. And if you'd like a consultation with me, my email is in the description box. I have a website, and I'd love to get to know you and help you along your path in life. I'm 60 years of age, been studying and doing my personal development from a very early age, if not other incarnations for sure. All right, this is my last incarnation. I know that, and I've worked very hard to maintain that desire, my soul's desire. All right, everybody, namaste. I love you, love you, love you, and I'll see you soon.